Enrique Iglesias, Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide. Let's go!
The three learning objectives for my session were to perform an effective short serve, to prevent a three-shot rally in doing this, and to understand all the key concepts of what a short serve should entail, and then create a criteria to match this. The core task which I have chosen to look at is the short serve in badminton. I chose to work with students of reasonable badminton ability. Not a great deal of technique is used at the start, they are very outcome based as opposed to using the correct technique, which is why I thought I would focus on it, as a short serve is a very important thing to get right in a game of badminton. It can be so influential. I then spoke to my participant to work out what they would want their short serve to consist of and how to go about accomplishing it. Their response was: hand in a slightly higher position on the racket handle, racket head angled down, wrist and arm about waist height, shuttle held with finger and thumb only. The serve is a push action and should happen in a smooth flowing action, aiming to get the shuttle as low as possible and land as close as possible to the service line to prevent a three-shot rally. Make sure you follow through and return to the centre of the court. The participant then narrowed these down into 4 things as they thought it would be easier to refer to. Firstly, it was handling of the racket. Secondly, low trajectory and direction of the shuttle. Thirdly, body positioning on court. And finally, movement during and after the serve. Having got my participants to develop this criteria, I then used a very talented badminton player in my group for the peers to look up to and get a visual demonstration of it, rather than me just telling them how to do it. In pairs on half a court, and because they had already told me that they wanted their serve as low as possible in order to prevent a three-shot rally, I constrained them to attempt them to really try and concentrate on serving low. So I added a piece of string with an added reward if the serve completed successfully. With 5 certs each and a maximum of a three-shot rally. If you got it through the box and the point was 1, that was 3 points. If you didn't get it through the box and the point was 1, that was 2 points. If you got it through the box but didn't win the point, you still gained a point. I gave them a point even though they didn't win the point to encourage accurate serving. The more points each participant acquired, the better they were at serving. I got them to keep referring to the criteria and recording their results so they knew that whether or not they were improving at their serving. I noticed that one of my participants was still serving high, so I had a chat with him separately and discussed with him why he thought he was still serving high. We reminded ourselves of the criteria, we reminded ourselves of the technique and how a short serve should happen. We also talked about grip and body position and where the serve should land.
I'm looking straight now through the letterbox. I want you to try and hit that as close as you can, okay? Still through the letterbox? Yeah, through the letterbox.
I then felt that my participants were still serving low, which was really good to see, but in the criteria which they had made, they said the serve should be as close to the service line as possible, so I wanted to try and constrain them further with a target on the corners and middle of the service line. Points were as followed: 3 points for the targets and through the letterbox, 2 points for the target and not through the letterbox, and 1 point just for the correct serve. Again, I am still rewarding them for a correct serve, but they will see more reward if they serve by hitting the targets, which they have worked out are the most effective ways to serve, because it is the most difficult place for their opponent to return the shuttle. So, how do they assess themselves? After the session, they would talk to their peers using the level sheet and also the criteria they created. They would give themselves a level between 1 and 5. The levels are as follows. Level 1 is very much teacher-led. There's very little accuracy in the serve. The student would need a lot of guidance and demonstration, and there will be almost a 30% success rate. Level 2. The participant is starting to serve low, gaining an understanding of the ideal position for the shuttle to land on the court, and starting to be able to self-evaluate why the serve wasn't right. This is a 40% success rate. Level 3. Can understand and address why the serve wasn't right and also if it was good. Hitting some of the targets in the serve box, but not always. There is a 50% success rate. Level 4. Serve is becoming a lot more accurate. There's good technique in the service, and more of the targets are being hit. There is a 60% success rate for this level. And level 5, the serving is accurate. The technique is almost the same from serve to serve, can self-assess themselves easily, and also can play to the opponent's weaknesses.